All right, everyone. So you are here early right now. The EST tournament is only now just beginning. So while we wait for our players, it's just you and me. Let's settle in. Get cozy. Do you hear the sound of the fire crackling behind you? We're going to read you a short Christmas story. I say short, but it's not. And I say Christmas story, but it's also not that. Chapter 2. The newly arrived gentleman had been in town for over a week, driving about to evening parties and dinners, having, as I say, a very pleasant time. At last, he decided to extend his visit out. Okay, never mind. I've changed my mind, everyone. Instead of you being here with me intimately watching a story, reading a story, rather, we're going to have this up. And we're going to be playing waiting music. You know, waiting music. I'm sure you know exactly what I mean.
I know.
Hello. We're live.
Come and watch Reaper play Pokemon. Oh, Reaper.
The bullet's about to start, so.
Oh, has it been an hour?
Well, it is starting. Yeah, we're
Oh, well, I am going to mute if you're on stream right now.
DJ, do you want to go to like a regular voice chat?
Yes.
Alright.
It's just you and me, no space. But that's alright. I'm sure we'll figure it out somehow. Are we live? You're gonna have to tell me if we're live. Are we live? Oh my god. You weren't supposed to see that. I'm sorry. Aravan and Yeti are already playing? Oh my goodness. Well, hold on. I think it's happening. They're gaming. Ladies and gentlemen, we have gaming. So, there's a skirmish. Jinji games in the early rounds around the center village. This is something we see very commonly. Yeti's going to end up getting the better end of this deal. Immediately able to reposition that second low health warrior into a place where it's safe. Whereas Yeti's opponent here, in a fair spot, but taking it to organization instead of probably the much stronger archery. And looking at it, I think Yeti just goes for an archer on the center city, which will help keep the opponent off. Well, I guess it's not necessary this turn, but Erevan has some counterplay now. Chooses not to kill the warrior because, I mean, why would you? Oh, we're going to actually see them do some tech here. animation canceling, reloading the game instead of watching the animation play out to conserve some time on their clock. We're going to keep it on Yeti's perspective for the while. For the rest of this entire tournament, the perspective is sticking with whoever's probably winning. Whoever's seated higher, and then if the game starts turning around. So when you watch Yeti's perspective here, we see the archer, very useful, from the center city, going to help them keep Erevan off that village over in the west. Uh, kind of getting a little aggressive with the poking over in the east too. That archer can get smacked back on the next turn. But ultimately, it's fine. These archers aren't ready to die. Now, that I wasn't ready for. We were expecting that 6 health warrior would kick Yeti off the village over in the east, but maybe some team trading even going on here. Ooh. The Yeti's just going to heal. Yeah, so the siege is set up uh, if Yeti captures because it's a damaged warrior, right? No, because it's at 6 health instead of 5. 6 health warrior with a defense bonus does not die to a single warrior hit. And even if it were to get sieged by the warrior, he has 2 archers in range to deal with that. So it looks like Yeti is just going to get the lion's share of this map. 4 villages now, soon to be 5 villages, against Aravin's 2. I mean, they are both at pretty low levels, but Arvin actually has... I'm not sure what the archers are about. Like, those are dead archers. They're not living. Well, the second you trained it in the east, it's already gone. The one in the capital, Yeti gets the first attack with. Now, I don't want to say win trading. They are both on the same house here, but who knows what's going on in this game? Well, maybe the idea was, just to be very desperate. No, I thought for maybe even a second that it was just so that he could pull off a siege on that west city by training the 2 archers, but it doesn't really change anything. Yeah, Arvin gets another archer. I'm not sure at this point why you don't just resign. If you're just going to continue buying archers like that. But yeah, the one thing that Yeti had going against him that he didn't have very good economy after going for archers and more aggressive plays, getting a bunch of units going. He gets a Star Ruin, and now he's just allowed to upgrade all of his cities. Phenomenal middle city. Like the level 4 forge spot, 4 mines. Just immediate, like, 2 giants there if he ever gets Smithery. He's trying to get the metal under his enemy's warrior and realizing that it just won't work. However disappointing that is for Yeti, I think he'll have to, just deal with it. I think he'll somehow find a way. So yeah, Irvin, opposite of the beginning of the EST stream, having an upset victory against Meister Limpe, uh, seems like, goes for the Giants into the Archers and is just not enough to make up for the overwhelming city disadvantage. I mean, Arvin hasn't resigned yet, so maybe they're seeing something that I'm not. But I'm not sure that they are. Sometimes we play on just to play on. And that's alright. Some people like to have fun with their games. So yeah, not even really worried about the giant, just making sure that all of its support units die first. The giant really can't do anything. It's very slow and will get absolutely totaled by these archers. As soon as Smithery comes out, like easy 2 giants on that center city, a 3rd giant on the northwest city, giants everywhere. But finally see a war. Oh, peace treaty offer. Yeah, very sneaky. Um, unfortunately, such a tactic does not work against Yeti. Yeti's just a player of a different caliber. So just going to go ahead and continue. You'd think that. I mean, the good thing about them finishing this game so early is that I'm sure we'll have another game in its early stages to go move towards as soon as this one's finished. But let's see how Yeti converts in the very end here. It just feels nice just watching someone win, yeah? And Yeti is not the type of player to have an overwhelming advantage like this and, take a, win in 1 turn and turn it into a win in 40. So in for some pretty smooth sailing here. Now the big thing you're going to notice is that Yeti actually has units. This was the strategy, training a bunch of units at the expense of the economy somewhat. And now without a single level 5 city anywhere, Yeti just goes ahead, takes down the giant like it's nothing. If Smithery picks up his own 1 giant, and does he go for the second one immediately after? Yep. And says, this is how it's done. Yeah, he wanted it to get pushed to the northeast one. But in the center of the map, push direction can surprise even the seasoned pros. So just using those monuments, getting even more stars. He's just playing around. It's like a cat, batting its paw at a little mouse. And what does Arvin do now? Now, the whole time this was happening, Arvin was not resigning, so you'd think that there's a, something. Oh my. Well, forget everything I said. Okay, as soon as the peace treaty was accepted, Arvin resigned, so. I mean, yeah, that was clinical. That's how you do it. Let's see, Civet is playing Vouchful right now. Wow! Astria is playing Refa, aka the Nova. And at the same time, Rats is just getting ready. We're going to go ahead and check in with Rats. Rats, babe, talk with me.
Hello. It's a fucking Kiku, bro. What? Bloody Kiku. Why are you streaming?
I am streaming, yes.
Oh, my bad. My bad.
It's alright,
My
it's
bad.
alright.
Oops.
Rats, how are you feeling? This is your first bullet tournament today?
Yeah, it is.
But not your first bullet tournament ever, I understand.
Yeah.
Oh, my
I
bad.
think Reaper was the day I had looked up how many I won, but I can't remember. I think it was 7 or something.
That's
like
what
7
I've been
brackets.
saying all day, so I hope that's true.
It's definitely not 7 wins overall. 7 bracket wins, sure, maybe. But like, bullet overall is not 7. Right.
Might. Yukiso. Are you playing against Yukiso?
Yes.
Ooh, well, Yukiso's already deafened. So if you just get your stream started, we'll do some crazy commentating.
With me or just without me?
Well, maybe I won't
That can
say
also happen.
anything. If you want to, do some self-commentary, I'm sure we'd love that.
Alright. Yeah, that seems about right.
All
That
right,
can
I of
work.
course won't say
Just
anything.
don't spoil anything, because
Yeah,
all you definitely
absolutely.
work.
Yeah, I can deafen you. Yes, I will go ahead and deafen you and make sure no one else talks. We'd like to hear you do the commentating for what you're
Okay.
thinking, as long as it's convenient, of course.
Yeah. Why cannot find them? What is this game? Nice.
Everyone, sit back and relax. You've had this bumbling fool, blunderer, bullet champion Funny yapping and doing commentary, but now you're going to have Rats, the brilliant bullet champion, commentating his own game. Now, I know I'm interested in watching this. Rats has unique perspectives, insights, thoughts, thinking. See, that's not. Is that their like friend code from when Polytopia had those for like 5 years ago instead of usernames? I'm not sure what I'm looking at here right now. Rats has an astounding 3,800 games on this account. Honestly, I can't believe it.
Technical difficulties. Ah.
Drought.
Yeah.
There we go. And it's all good. Rats miss. Yukiso. Sigma Sigma on the wall. Who's the greatest bullet champion of them all? Poly Champions has a video, actually. Most recent one. Check it out. The channel on
Right.
you're right now.
Let the gameplay begin.
All right.
He's got a lighthouse spawn. Good to know. So that means he's either in this corner, this corner. Already
We
really
check
valuable
in.
information here. Grabs the workshop. Standard stuff. Or copy paste. Steps into him whole second 20 warriors here. Okay, he's gonna
I'm going to go ahead and turn Rat's volume up.
reveals
Oh, it's already at max.
57 is math. 60, 75. Yeah, so he revealed 3 tiles with the first warrior. So the warrior could be here. I don't think that's he spawned west though. With how that developed. I could go archery with hunting. We'll see how that develops. I'm not too worried about not missing the village here, because it's bullet. I wouldn't step on it anyways. So he turned to second warrior here. Okay, he went 3, 3. With his first warrior, he revealed 3 tiles twice. So it's not, he definitely did not spawn west. If he spawned west, he went that way. Let me go this way first. There's a village here. That means he could have spawned here, actually. How can I cover this best? I actually want to go up. Okay, that works perfectly, actually. Yeah, I like that, how that works. If he steps on this and can contest, he won't step on this though, because it doesn't matter where he spawned. Okay, he spawned north. The second warrior was revealed 3 tiles, is here, and now is like on one of these tiles, probably this tile, the second warrior. The first warrior, so this is the first warrior, this is the second warrior, the third warrior should be like on one of these 2 tiles. I know where everything, yes, this village is for free, I can step on it and have no issues. This warrior, I cannot... Where does that guy come from? Am I tripping? Huh. Must have counted something wrong there. He's gonna kick me off that as well. That's actually not great. But I can go roads and kick him off again, I guess. Yeah, that works. He has 2 units. He does not have riding yet, so he has 2 units in range. This way, he can't kill this guy. He has to use the 10 HP to hit. This guy kills, and then I'll be able to use this guy to go west while I kill this guy and bounce away. And he can't even have anything retaliating this guy. Nice. So he's still gonna be on 1 village, so am I, but I have a better position here to continue playing. Because I have more map control here. He can't step on this with this guy, else he just dies. This village is for free, this village is for free. He can't contest any of it. There's a village in this east corner most likely, because this fruit could belong to this, but likely not. I step on this. I definitely turn another rider. If he steps on it, I can kick him off again. There's no village here because of the way Drylands works. There could be a village in this tile. There could be. So this is a potential village. This is a potential village. There can't be a village here because of this. There can't be villages here because of Drylands. Okay, nice. He doesn't even step on it, so I can claim this as well. I can't grab the lighthouse right now. I could go east heavily with this. I could also grab tech. Orc would upgrade this. Orc would upgrade that. Orc might be a good decision. I also don't need a lighthouse for this then. I'm going Orc here.
Yeah, his resources are quite bad.
I'm going
But
Orc.
with
I have the
just
economy
Oregon
advantage, I can play it that
roads.
way. Also, I have a lot of farms. This is really lovely. With this, I can also bounce onto the next village. Can shape 2 explorers and shoot them across the map for Eye of God. But the amount of shaping required, yeah, that's the village I was talking about. Do I want to use that time to shape? If there's a village here, I don't want to shape. I mean, if there's a village here, I don't want to shape this explorer. I can take a workshop and shape that guy. This I don't need to shape for. I could try and get the lighthouse that way. Because right now I'm thinking about the best way to obtain the Eye of God. If I continue holding these 3 cities and I keep him on 2, I'll have a city advantage here. I just need to make sure that I don't get overrun by... Also, that's a mistake. I kill that. He doesn't see it though, so that's going to be a free kill. Second kill for this rider here. Working towards the veteran. And I can bounce onto this village without using 2 roads. I can now connect my cities, bounce onto this village, get a second kill for my rider, without placing an additional 3rd road, which is really valuable for me here. So this guy goes here. Actually, I can't bounce. I need another road for it still. Except I would have been able to do it, but I wanted to get the second kill on this guy. That's why it doesn't work, which is fine with me, honestly. Not really too worried about it. I'm honestly gonna greet here with the positioning of my units.
Alternatively, he could have used a road north of his
Yeah,
city
that's what
there.
I thought.
It
I'm
would not
gonna
have connected his cities.
grab a
Though.
workshop here. This is gonna be a shaped explorer for Eye of God. And now I don't want him to like get the roads and bounce into this village. Keep it safe, this guy recovers. Next turn I can do more eco stuff here.
Check in on if they have an explorer.
So with these units I can also shape this explorer already. This guy's got 2 kills already. Six, 7, 8, 9, 10. Don't have cheap giants. They're not expensive, but they're also not cheap. Okay. Another ruin, wow. Okay, so this shapes the explorer for this village to go up into the corner. Now I could grab an explorer here in this city. I could. I just take a workshop. I'm gonna grab a workshop here.
That's crazy. He wants the stars.
And now it's a unit spam because I have the city advantage. I don't need to play super smooth here. All I need to do is just bring it home. He went here. I don't think it was that smart, to be fair, because he's sacrificing a rider for this. But this game is over. You could argue spawn diff here because I didn't really outplay him, I just played it into my cards. I'm curious to see where I went wrong though in the beginning, because I thought the first warrior went and revealed 3 tiles twice. Ah, no, that's why I went wrong. So the first warrior went diagonal and then revealed 3 tiles twice. That's why it was in range. That's why I went wrong. So if you look at this, I score counted this correctly, but I did a mistake in my head. So he went here, and then he revealed 3 tiles, going southeast, and then southeast again. And I thought it was 1 more tile towards northeast. That's why I was miscalculating that, but like, that makes much more sense why he was able to do that. Yeah, this was really important. This hit was really important because I knew that he only had 2 units in range, and with this warrior pre-hitting like this, I could use it later to then go to this village down here. And this way he can't retaliate because he's forced to use both units to kill. And that's a free unsiege for my rider. We did the same, like, this one is very, like, the same, except that I had another village to the side and he didn't, right? I have 2 villages to either side, like one of either side, and he didn't. And also my resources are slightly better on those. I say slightly, this one has 1 fruit, but it's enough to be able to be upgraded with the road and the fruit, which is more than enough right now, and he doesn't really have anything here. Looking at Orc, does he have farms? I mean, he doesn't really have farms. He also goes forestry. I don't even know what he could have done differently here. Interesting. Yeah. Nice.
Well played, Rats.
Thank you, thank you.
Because you've just finished your round 2 while other players are still on round 1, is there anywhere you want to check out? It looks like Vouchful and Yukiso should just be getting started in their own game.
Who? Vouchful and Yeti?
Sorry, not Yukiso. Yeah, Yeti Peaks.
I was gonna say.
Too many Y names. This isn't the first time I've said the wrong name.
Let's go check them out. Round 2 game as well. We have 2 ruins. Who am I watching here? Vouchful right now.
Ooh, yeah, hopping off the village for a turn to get that nice siege. Yeah, Rider Roads versus Riders of Forestry here looks like. And we're already on turn 9. It looks like, yeah, Yeti's just kind of stepping on Vouchful's throat, so to speak. I'm not seeing much of what Vouchful is going to accomplish here, or like what, like how he can turn this around already.
I think it's yeah.
Well,
Correct.
maybe there'll be something in the ruin, so.
I mean, he could grab the ruin, try and get population, and then okay, that's
Oh
not
my
gonna
god.
help.
He gets a ring.
I was like thinking he needed that warrior to unsiege, but at the same time he can't
Yeah.
use it, and
Well, yeah, he needed like 2 roads for the
he couldn't even unsiege anyways.
like other.
Yeah, this game is chopped.
Yeah, well, I'm not sure what I was expecting, but it wasn't, a murder scene like this. Vouchel hasn't given up yet. Yeah, I mean, with Rhodes, yeah, and one chop, actually able to pull off this amazing unsiege with the Rider and Warrior on the capital, teaming up, sharing some of the same roads. But stars after that are difficult to come by. Oh, well, so Vouchel does buy roads. I was Vouchel looking at getting a cap siege because it
Oh,
doesn't.
that's not
It's
gonna
not.
work though.
Yeah.
I mean, he's.
Okay, just resigns afterwards. Yeah. Wow, that was brutal. Yeah, that was brutal. Congratulations to Yeti Peaks, I suppose.
More games. What do we have?
Refa, our Nova heroes, they were streaming an Imperious game. I'm not sure about that. Erevan is playing Civet right now on Kiku. It looks like their game is pretty well developed. And there's still a round one game going on. Although instead of just hopping
We could.
around in these games that are pretty close to the end, we might just
I
wait
think.
for a round 2 or 3 game to start.
Yeah, I think Jack's game finished. They said GG's in chat. I don't know who won that game though, but like the winner of that match should versus Meister. We could watch that game. This is on to Kiku.
Oh, absolutely. I'd love to watch and commentate a Meister game with you.
But they haven't published the results of that game yet. They just said GG's in the bullet chat. Maybe we should go ask them who won that
Let's
game.
ask who won.
Right, January versus Meisterlampe.
Right. Yeah, Junior is not happy about playing Meister. He just says, bruh. Feeling crash out. I'm sorry.
Oh, I also got another game. It's round 3 already though. Wait, what happened? I'm playing. Wait, what happened? Did Astria lose to?
Yes.
Okay, I don't want to be like mean, but like did Astria lose to Nova?
The
What happened?
Refa won the
Ah,
last one.
is Rafa like a returning player?
No.
Or
Refa
just a
played
really
a
good player?
pretty solid game. I only saw one of their games against. I mean, it was in the not grand finals, but the bracket finals. They played pretty solid, but they had the one misclick which caused them to resign game one before
Oh
going
no.
on to win. They came from the winners bracket in that tournament, though.
Nice, nice.
Well, our game here can get started. We've got Meister here to stream for us. Thankfully.
Got my own game in a second, so
Yeah, this is man. I know that I can't tell the refa. Hey, just wait up a second. I'm gonna lie too, but I understand the tournament needs to go on. You are a player, not a commentator. So I wish you good luck.
thank you so much.
You may need it, they've been on a tear today in Bullet.
I mean, luck is always something
Of
that's
course.
needed in Bullet. Like, I wouldn't go and say that I've won all the bullets without, the bit of luck here and there. Like, I've also lost a lot of Bullet matches for the same reason, and I mean, that's just how the cookie crumbles sometimes.
Absolutely.
Enjoy the commentary and see you later.
See ya. Well, the dynamic is that he's my biggest fanboy and I'm his biggest fanboy. Although neither of us can quite match, the fanboy club for certain other players. So here we are with the action ball pending invitation, Meister waiting. And I have to wonder what's going on. Oh, all right. Here we are, Polytopia players. Meisterland is about to play against January. The two blue teams, Arctic Wolves versus Tempest, face off in this clash. Kiku on Drylands Tiny. Meister is going to be the one hosting. That means skipping turn 0. Plays down a tempo, but with an extra 2 stars for having skipped that turn. Action Ball has just been invited to the game. Anything could happen right now. The game is all ready to go. Good luck to both of the players. Let's get started. Oh my god. Oh, speaking of good luck, what is this? So he does have the lighthouse spawn. Usually something that we're happy to see, but I mean, right now, with the combination of where those 2 water tiles are, blocking any push for the center of the map. If the water tiles weren't enough, like add insult to injury, we've got the mountain past that. The forest southwest as well, affecting, if he trains riders, their ability to reach this village that Meister sees. So an all-around unimpressive start. Meister doing some diligent score counting, of course. I mean, like, you just need to, the early stages of a game like this. And pushes all 3 warriors around that village. In case he gets kicked off, he has the 2 in range to unsiege. Yeah, tech, capture, 2 resource harvested, and hasn't seemed to decide on what to do yet. Okay, that's definitely an explorer. How much the score just went up there. Workshop would only give an additional 40 points, and that's well over 200. Not just an explorer, but a good explorer too. How much additional score an explorer gives you is dependent on how many tiles of fog it uncovers. with 5 points per each tile. So if you were paying attention, you could actually figure out after the additional 40 points for having an upgraded city exactly how many extra tiles they uncovered. But Meister finds his opponent's position, sees a nice solid village near his capital that he can probably grab. It looks like, although the start was looking pretty bad, all things considered, looking like it's rebounding really quickly after figuring out more about the position. I mean, no lighthouses with that, but just seeing, yeah, there's a really good chance that I grab this third city here, whereas my opponent only has space for 2 in the fog, the capital, and the one they've just captured of the explorer. I'm much more likely, I'm favored to get the city in the southwest as well. It looks like Meister might be playing a game 4 cities against 2, but he isn't quite there yet. He is going to have to fight especially hard for that city in the northeast. And we don't really know what the resources are looking like, or the situation on lighthouses for the opponent after that explorer they took, or what vision they have on us, anything like that. But yeah, Meister knows it's turn 5. I know where your capital is. I know where you sent your other units. Surely going to keep units in range to unsiege here. The only reason I see for having trained that capital warrior. Yeah, and there was a choice there, I think, too, between which warrior to keep with the village. Had he swapped warriors, like the warrior that had been on his village moved north, and the village warrior east went south, he would have been picking up the ruin, but he's deciding to go for the village first. A wise decision, because it's not always going to be there for him. Yeah, after training another warrior around there, he's going to be able to unsiege and pick off this 5 health warrior. His own weakened warrior that he uses to help him kill on this village in the northeast is going to be well protected, so he should be coming ahead in this trade. And we see pretty interesting. Yeah, Meister has to decide, am I going to pick up climbing now to the ruin, or just pick up the easy kill on this 5 health warrior? Yeah, he cannot allow certain ruin results. Like, if his opponent grabs a veteran swordsman from that ruin, Meister loses the center city. And then with the archer push, he's going to lose the northeast city, and suddenly he's just on his capital. But this is pretty tough for him. He goes into riding. Archery is not really a good option for him. Riders from his capital aren't really great at getting out to the rest of the map because of how they're so blocked off by the rough terrain. Meister. So he engineered this such that he gets the rider because he sees this combination immediately. He needs to clear that warrior, clear that zone of control, and then he can go ahead and keep his opponent off the ruin and the village for one more turn. Pick up a couple more riders. So his opponent does have, or I should just call him Jan. Jan does have enough. Keep him out of the interesting areas, the ruin and the village. A Meister, I'm sure, would love nothing more than to just put that 5 health rider down into that ruin, get stars, get population, I get roads from there even. Of course, not as good as stars, but just get some good result. Might even get like a crazy explorer, which like shuts down south, gets the south and west lighthouse, picks up the east one with climbing in some other. I'm not seeing the place for lighthouses for him. Is he? Yeah, I think he's gonna be playing here, saying you don't have vision on this city right now. That's not something we know for sure. That second city, we did see it get an explorer. The score increase earlier in the game. We don't really know where it got vision on, but it certainly got vision on his position in instruct because of just the number of stars he had to get archers when he did. The explorer needed to have met Meister then. So yeah, the way Jan's advancing here definitely doesn't look like they got vision. However, they are able to go ahead and pick up a couple hits on at least the. Yeah, no, they're just able to flat out kill the warrior on the village in the center of the map. And if Meister captures that city of his rider, he suddenly got a new defensive responsibility. Okay, that's really not what he wanted to see. Talking about an crazy explorer ruin that went south and then west, not south and then east. Had it gone west, would have been a really easy job to get his lighthouse, his Eye of God monument rather. Explorer on the new city would almost assuredly go ahead and pick up the northern one. But yeah, because of that fog there, it doesn't look like it's going to be able to turn around and reach. So, a bit unlucky on that ruin result. So I think Meister's going to get himself sieged on this city, Leon. But he does have the 2 riders in range to help him out. Yeah, Meister wanted to know if he got population. Checking the capital. No population there. Now, wondering if he goes for the siege here. Yeah, I think he might have been better served not going for the siege, just bouncing off to the ruin before killing that rider with the archer. But goes ahead. This intensifies a lot of the pressure on Meister. It does allow him to go ahead and bounce off towards the south ruin. But it really hasn't given up the ruin over in the west. So as bad as things look for Meister, as much as we're seeing these archers really push, he does have more villages. And I know that's only a temporary thing. Yeah, he's looking out for the potential for veterans anywhere. And he's like, no veterans immediately anyways. I'm going to go ahead and get that siege. Not siege. I'm going to go ahead and pick up that easy kill. He's got to be very careful here with a lot of sneaky tactics in this position. The warrior is doing some zone of control, but not nearly enough. And the archers can team up to do some real damage. Yeah, the warrior there is necessary because simple line archer kills here. The other archer moves in. Archer and rider will team up to get a kill on anything other than a warrior. And also, you just don't want your to have like a bunch of units that don't deal a lot of retaliation damage around an opposing rider like that. So one last hope for a really good ruin result for Meister here. If he gets roads, his position really opens up. He can start dealing damage to these archers. But as it stands, he doesn't really have a great way to upgrade his cities at the moment. And he's getting pressed really hard by these archers. It's really difficult to get his... The one place he can train riders on his capital, It's really difficult to get them active because of the terrain that we mentioned on turn 0, and have been maybe I've been whining about it a little too much since then, but it's definitely been hurting his position a lot. Population, that's a fantastic rune to get. So something like hunting forestry into a giant, or something else. Very glad to have Arthur in the chat just to say Meisterlampe. I know his name, you know his name, and apparently the silver player Arthur knows their name as well. Oh, I tease. So yeah, advancing his archers in a pretty precarious way over there in the east. We're seeing some a Tempest on Tempest support. Tempest go for Jan. Arctic Wolves players going for Meister. Blue on blue violence. Yeah, another explorer, and we see now that Meister has some vision on the lighthouses. Get a better sense of what their vision was like before, that an explorer would be shaped to go in such a way. But we also have a better idea of what their vision looks like now that it went all the way through the south. Especially knowing that there was a lack of vision around that city in the west with how Jan had been playing earlier. The vision game is one that's very nice if you can control it. Just having your unit standing in a place that they can't expect it. The archers can't even target it if they are in range, just because they have no vision on you. I think that's largely over for Meister, though. Forestry is still very expensive. Roads would be nice. They immediately activate his capital rider. You can pick up like a siege on this city over in the east. I was going to highlight the pros for going into forestry right now, but our player's already chosen roads. Could have gotten a similar effect with forestry, chopping that north forest on the capital to get the riders around there a little more active. It wouldn't have helped out around the center city, and it's not getting the population needed for a giant, but it was more expensive to go for forestry. And there's still population for the capital with roads. If we get that northern lighthouse and 2 road connections, that's already a giant on the capital. Now, the question of how he's going to manage to get the northern lighthouse remains to be seen. Certainly not impossible, though. Some clever rider bounces, maybe a mountain. It doesn't quite seem in the realm of possibility yet, though. Yeah, maybe he's even eyeing up a killer monument. I haven't seen the score screen pop up in a second, but we're getting to those turns later on in the game. It's turn 13 now. It was a pretty slow start, and Meister even had some problems. But yep, there we go, killer monument. Yeah, roads definitely much faster and simply unnecessary to go into forestry for the giant when the killer monument is right there. Yeah, so I think we saw that Meister was going to go ahead and put the killer monument, I think this is interesting, on the west tile. Perhaps he was, like I was, reminded about how useful bridges could be in this position now that he has roads, and decided instead to put it on the northwest tile. A bridge west of that city will help him connect to his other cities, as well as moving the giant straight into the enemy position. You're watching a game of Polytopia, Arthur. But yeah, the Killer Monument's chilling out as a little resort huts on the water. Both players getting their capital giants on turn 13 with the Killer Monuments. You know, a bridge on that west tile is so nice for opening up the position. The way it acts as a road connects them. May not want to open it up immediately. Looking at, yeah, getting a siege on that city Mako. Go ahead, go ahead, Meister. It's all yours. If he wants to move that giant in as well, do it for like 9 stars. Just a road north of capital, no bridge required. If he wants to go with the bridge, he has no stars for units. I mean, even if he doesn't do it with the bridge, those stars are a little lacking. Yeah, I'm not sure what's going on. Okay, one, I'm not sure what Meister is saving his monument for. He decided not to get the kill with his warrior, but rather to get it with the veteran rider. I think he probably should have saved the veteran rider. Just because, like, we knew that he's going to have enough to unsiege there, as well as, you know, you're just giving a free kill in the warrior to the giant. It's like stopping it from, you know, taking advantage of any roads, but I don't think roads was in the forecast. That is a Tempest pun. But all the same, both players have their giants. It's just that Meister's is coming out sooner. And he's causing other tactical problems for Jan. I think we might, Meister may have saved the Park Fortune Monument for the capital. Otherwise, you know, just pick it up right now, get the 5 stars back. But looking at getting another giant after a couple of roads and the North Lighthouse, my only question is if that was the path to getting the second giant there, aren't you already getting your Explorer Monument? But Meister has, with what was I was classifying as an abysmal start, solid victory, wins the game. Arthur not impressed though. Arthur, I would love to see playing in the bullet tournament. Sounds derogatory, derisive. Yeah, no Park of Fortune, no bridge, pro game. I did not mean that in a derogatory, derisive way. Arthur is a fantastic player, of course. I just want to watch the man play some bullet. Well, we return. I hope we'll be all right. All right, Yeti, just stream def and we'll all be ready. Let's go ahead and watch as Meister does a little game review. Yeah, Unfortunate Explorer. But yeah, this was beautifully played by Meister. The climbing, the ride on that center city. Like on turn 7, things are looking like not just rough, but like absolutely terrible. But kind of a little gamble on the vision, but it pays off. Like Meister actually gets that village over in the west. A little bit of a misstep in sieging instead of just going for the ruin.
Who's
Doesn't
going
quite
quick?
pay off.
Also we play, never mind.
Yeah. And then Meister starts pushing back. The archers gained jammed that village over in the east, but by the time Meister starts actually pushing back, there's not much that the archers are accomplishing. The Killer Monument Giant just comes in sooner and in a more relevant area for Meister, as well as the roads, just shutting down the archers and flat out refuting them, really. Like forestry and math would have been nice for getting some giants later on, but Meister caused too many tactical problems. Yeah, I really needed to get a warrior on Mako. Avoid that siege. I guess the siege wasn't necessarily avoidable. It was possible to get a siege even if a warrior were there. You just would have required another road and Meister to step off that road in the west. But no. How does he do it? How? How is he so good? Well, Yeti Peaks has sent the friend request and it's been accepted. So now we're just waiting as Meister. Is he sending the game? I'm not sure if he's hosting or not, to be perfectly honest. Yeah, Meister is going to be hosting this one again. So in this round 2 matchup of Tempest versus Arctic Wolves in Bullet, the Battle of the Blue, who's your money on, Rats? Both are Bullet champions, Bullet Grand champions.
I mean, my money is gonna be on Meister Lamp.
Yeah.
I think is the favorite going into this, but who knows? You know, everything is possible.
Absolutely. I've seen a lot of upset victories in the EST bracket, and I'm sure we're going to see more in GMT. Not that it would be a horrible upset if Yeti won. Yeti's phenomenal. And starting with 4 farms,
Oh
great place
wow!
to
I only
be.
see one POV here. Let me get both.
Yeah. We're going to be sticking with Meister's POV for most of this. Just checking in on where the players are to start out with.
It is 4 farms, but like,
Yeah,
if you
they're
look
not in
into the
great
late
places.
game, yeah, one farm is gonna be blocked because you're gonna place a windmill probably on top of it, or you would like to place it on there. And then the 2 mountains is kind of like, well, Smithery, the forge spot, unless you take border growth there, is also not going to be useful. So yeah, he has a lot of farms, but I think Meisterlamp here with his 3 animals has a potential really cheap giant on his way. With like lighthouses, roads, hunting, farms. That's it. That would be a giant, I think.
Yeah,
You
for
took
sure. This is a weird
make him there.
skirmish that they've started in this for this village in the southeast. But I'm not sure what Yeti
Meister gets
Peaks.
to engage.
Yeah.
It doesn't really matter too much here. Because both players are just trading the units and they can only train on one city. So the both just end up trading the units here, and neither of them are actually stacking up kills because of the way that they decided to trade. For example, here Yeti could have decided to hit with the warrior instead of the rider, and then kill with the rider and back off like that, right?
Yeah.
But this works out for Yeti as well. Now Yeti ends up with a rider that has 1 kill, which would be in range of a road, but road is too expensive for my Slumpy. He can't afford it. Doesn't really matter. Oh, this might be risky. This might be shambles. If that move is seen by Yeti, then big. He might decide to play it slow though, because neither of them know, like both of them know that they are on one city, and both of them took a workshop, so both of them know that the only vision they have, each player has, is by the units where they move to. So they know that they can step into the fog without being seen. This is risky. Meister might be overextending here. I say might, but Meister is overextending here. Depends what he does with the second rider.
Yeah, like the
But it
5
is
health rider is
risky.
just not in range of that city in the southeast. So he's just gotta keep going it forward, moving it back, no healing ever. Now he's given himself 2 defensive tasks on
Oh,
this
that's
village,
huge
which
for Yeti.
he didn't really. I don't think he ever had a real chance of capturing. And in the southeast.
Also really nice movement there, the way that they used the movement order, going from that forest west and then south. That's the way that the rider moved instead of. Wait, no, it was up there. It was on the other tile, no? It revealed the village while it was moving towards the attack.
Mm-hmm. Absolutely.
Which allowed the nice bounce here. And I don't think, yeah, no, that doesn't reveal a village. There's a village in the west corner, like for 90%. There's very, very certainly a village there, but he doesn't reach this turn.
I mean, like, I feel really confidently, but certain that there's a village there?
Yeah, I would say so. Oh, that's expensive. He misplaced the road by 1 tile there. The forest being a rough tile.
Yeah. All these resources so far could be just part of the border growth from that one city in the center. I'm like, I'd give it like an 85% chance of a village in the west.
From my experience, I would even go as far as saying like 99% of the time there's a village in the west corner here. Out of
Yeah.
experience with like the way that the indicators work and the way the villages are spread as well. There's most certainly one.
Now, I would be shocked if there's no village there. It's just, it is
There is.
possible, strictly speaking.
There is.
Yeah, I think he should have just played for that village.
Yeah, stepping on that village in the middle was very risky and it did not pay off.
Yeah.
He was also going roads there, and yeah, this is not. I gotta say, this was not very cleanly played by my Meister. Now Yeti's in a position where he knows he has the upper hand.
Sorry,
Right.
Meister, you're giving us stroke, full seizures. We're just switching perspectives to winner POV.
Now my question
Oh my
is,
God.
not the village, the ruin. Does he take an
There's
explorer?
multiple ruins.
He does. He does.
Yeah.
Okay.
Grabs himself the lighthouse first before
He gets the
quickly
lighthouse
going
as
ahead
well?
and getting the western one as well. And with
Now
those
this
4
means
farms.
he doesn't even need. Yeah.
Yep.
Yeah. This is now a giant if he decides to go for it. He could also play it. I would even say play it safe, as in taking the border growth, just to increase the giant potential. But you know, at this point, the giant is coming out, and he can just force another village for free. And this swordsman as well is gonna increase. Those 2 runes are really good for him to be able to further extend his lead here.
Yeah, the swordsman
gonna
took
be
away
really
a
tough for Meister to
population
pull
on
this
his
back.
capital. Not as useful, but it may still come in. Yeah, and we see the stars. He's got pretty plus 7 here, or 7 plus. So
Yeah.
I don't see a world in which he doesn't go for the giant next turn. Looks like that's what he's been prepping, saving for.
Oh, that's tough. He was trying to get the lighthouse here to be able to upgrade the city, but he kind of needs to pick up a tech to do that. I've seen that once. I was playing in Umaji Mirror once where I shot an explorer down into a corner, and then the corner was just straight up blocked by 3 mountains, so I didn't get the lighthouse.
We saw that earlier in the grand finals for the GMT bracket in an Aquarion game, the Northern Lighthouse. 3 mountains around it. But yeah,
Also, do you see what's really unlucky here? If Meister had placed the first road not in the forest but on the fruit next to it, he would be able to connect the cities much more effectively. Now that road is basically just straight up 3 wasted stars he didn't need.
Yeah. There's a lot
And
of
those
stuff
stars are
to haunt
coming back to bite him here as well. Yeah.
I was interested in
It's
Meister play
really
more.
expensive.
I'm gonna be talking more about Yetis from now on. He just picked up a swordsman rune, which is going to be useful for sure in picking up that center village. But the second rune was organization, which not great. He really only has 1 fruit, but that 1 fruit is actually all he needs with his Park of Fortune, the 2 farms and a road to grab another village on that northern city. So how does he want to do this?
I don't even think that arc is that bad. On top of that, but also look at the middle. That middle has 3 farms and a fruit. With a road connection and a monument, that is a giant.
We're not going to see any of those giants. They're going to be left in our
That is
heads, in
unfortunate.
the players' heads, as Meister just resigns here. Yeah, can't
that
blame
was
him.
a quick game. Tough game. It happens. Curious. Right, I'm gonna. If Yeti stays here, then I might.
Well, wait for a few minutes. Oh, you sly dog. Log. Right, rats. What's the tribe you're playing?
Imperious.
How do you feel about Imperious and Bullet?
I don't know.
I think they're similar
It feels
to...
a bit dull.
Yeah, I mean, they seem like in practice like a little similar to Amaji, just that you're always going riders, but you have a little more economy. You end up with roads really early on, and then also the capacity for giants sooner than Amaji, anyways. But
the thing about Imperious is like you can get away with just a good game strategy. You don't need good mechanics, if that makes sense. You need just a good game strategy, knowing what route to choose and how to proceed the game plan. And on other tribes, there are some tribes that are really difficult to play in a mirror, like let's say like Aimo or like Hoodrick, where it can get really complicated quite quickly in how you're playing the tribe. Where it's not straightforward, oh, I'm taking Explorer here, or I'm taking a Workshop here, or I move this that way and I take this tech. No, you have to be very precise with all the movements and stuff to be able to win the game. And on Imperius, it's just like, well, you're gonna go Rider, and then you go Roads, and then you look your best Giant, you might get the Eye of God, and then the game is over. Right? I feel like it's a bit dull.
yeah, for sure. Imperius is one of those tribes
You don't
where
have
I think,
many options to choose from.
yeah, the highest was a competition. Not a lot of people are loving them.
Katie says he's ready. He's not streaming it, but I'll definitely.
Wow. Rats was not being rude. He could just not hear me. We're going to favor Rats' perspective here just because he's got Steam mode on. But yeah, Imperius is one of those tribes where it seems like players at the higher level are kind of bored of them in Bullet. I don't think they give the best games, but people in the mid ladder have much more fun with them, much more competitive. Rats season Bullet competitors skipping turn 0, and if we check Yeti's spawn just to see it real quick, in the east, both players have 4 roots, but Yeti's got looks like he's going to be pushing towards the southwest, whereas Rats, yeah, no villages around him. Imperius's resources. I don't know if I need to say that they were changed, considering that this was years ago, but if you look at Imperius's resources, they have 100% resources in their city borders. Those 2 field tiles Rats has now used to have fruits on them. Every other tile, they've got the mountains. Forests as part of terrain are okay, but empty field tiles are absolutely not. And starting with Org, they already see the farms. So these empty field tiles, no tile that borders them is even capable of having a village since he's Imperious. So the fact that there's just so many field tiles around his capital, just absolutely no villages anywhere. Rats chose to go south twice. The single forest there could have had a village south of this, but fortunately for Rats, no village found there. He can keep pushing that warrior either west. Okay. Well, bringing him right back into the game. A fantastic resources ruin. Yeah.
Beat him
He's
up,
gonna go
Yeti.
ahead.
Beat him up. Beat this guy. Beat this guy now. Kill him.
All right. Thank you for the color comment box. Going
I just
into
woke up, by the way.
climbing to try to pick up some vision on the. Yeah, diligent score counting. I'm not sure why players still do the method from time to time, flashing the screen when they're just trying to track score. You are allowed to just leave it open. And similar to that Kiku game, Rat's definitely not stepping on the village. Trying to secure a place for himself to just, move his units around safely over in the west. And this is very rare, but very interesting, very different to play. A 4-city map, it looks like. Of this capital here, no cities in Border Grove range, none on these last 2 tiles here because it's Drylands. And this city also invalidating everything in range of that Border Grove. So that capital, that city there, Rats' capital and the city in the west are the only 4 villages on the entire map. So Rats keeping Yeti off of that village, very important. Sure, we're going to just watch Rats. Okay, he's got the stars for it. He's looking into diplomacy. He sees Border Grove. He knows how difficult it is to defend from an attack in this kind of position. Yeah, he's got the stars. He just needs to be able to get rid of his population cap. And kind of worried about a rider bouncing into my capital if I'm Rats right now, for the vision I have. I would love to see cloaks here. It's just how does he get them? Like, does he go into Smithery to get past his pop cap? I mean, all likely it is just going to, like, a population ruin and hunting, or he's going to have to capture that west village. Swordsman. Yeah, the swordsman's too far away from the village to take away from population there. Or not. The swordsman does take away the population. It was a little visual bug that all the bars was still full. So because of the swordsman and how it resets his rider from being from his capital to being from nowhere, he's actually able to pick up the cloak, and he just goes for it immediately. On his next turn, even if he does it, like the swordsman's also fantastic. It allows him to stop his warrior on that village. If a warrior pops up there, the swordsman, Rats the swordsman and a rider will team up to take it out. He wants it to die. He's fine if it dying gets him another population spot. Not that I was too worried about that, since he's going to be capturing his warrior in the west. But he just advances the swordsman now. He's going to claim that village. Yeah, Rats absolutely did not look like it was very solid for him, but turned out that no one had any villages. And on top of that, Rats had the solid ruins and the perfect strategy. Like, yeah, you can go for this giant, but Rats is going to be chaining cloaks onto your capital now. I think this is the point where, like, if I see this and I'm Yeti Peaks, I say GG. He might play it out for a few more turns, but Rats is using his veteran swordsman to lock down the third, like fourth and final village of the map. He's just going to keep chaining these cloaks. I don't see the way that Yeti gets active, and I mean, he has the units to kill this veteran swordsman. So even like, turning the game from a he's not bouncing in front or like using any warriors to block, so Rats will be able to use the rider and warrior in tandem to kick Yeti off. And at the same time, 5 daggers, and they're just going to keep growing with no counterplay, no ability to prevent them from growing, as Rats just keeps spamming more and more daggers, more and more cloaks. Yeah, he just resigns. That was, I don't even know what to call that. What a game. What a gamer. Go Rats. Puts the champ in bullet champion. Rats, what have you to say?
It was a very wacky game.
Yeah. I didn't look at like it turns, but
No, like the reason why it was really wacky for me
Yeah.
to play was because I had so many stars and
Yeah, exactly.
no good way of spending them. Like if you look at my position here, like the only reason I turned that could train that cloak, by the way, like you see this here, right? I'm pop capped.
Yep, exactly.
But the only reason, exactly, because of the swordsman, I can train a cloak here. That's the only reason, because I can train a cloak this turn. Else, I would have had needed to wait another turn, because I was thinking about getting researching free spirit as well, but that would have been like 5 stars, 6 stars plus, then get 1 star back for the warrior.
Yeah.
But like I would not be able to afford it to afford placing a cloak, and yeah. That was wacky. But yeah, like I knew he was in one village, and that village was getting upgraded, so
No, absolutely.
And then with that swordsman stepping on him, I was basically just like dragging all those units across. He could have gotten that village, by the way, if he had just simply blocked that one tile where I could had access to the village from. But like I didn't really care. Like if I said to myself, if he kills that swordsman with 5 units, go for it. You're using all the units that you need to attack the daggers with, and then you just lose to daggers.
I mean, even like ignoring the swordsman, like even if the
it was a losing position.
Yeah.
But like if you look at this game, technically speaking, if you look at this position, I mean, it's a 4-village game. We both don't have a second village. I noticed that immediately looking at my resources. He could have been baited here. Like if you look at my spawn, I saw, well, I don't have a C2 because Imperius has a 100% resource rate. I noticed there's nothing here on these tiles. There could not be a village in any direction except south. That's the only tile that could be a village on. But even that village, it's I don't know. I have no indicators for it. So that's the reason I go for the lighthouse here, because I can extract maximum economy out of it. Yeti, on the other hand, has a few food here. He could get baited, so he goes there, obviously, because that's... He should go south here. This is the best movement for what he should be doing. Still the best movement for what should he be doing, and he just gets trolled by it. He steps on it, but like, there's nothing really that he could have done differently here. He just got fully baited by the game. Also, he couldn't really play the same open because he was one tile further away from the lighthouse. That was a wacky game. What was this ruin here? What did he get? Population. Well, then that explains. Well, that just plays into my cards even more. Because then, like, I see the border growth and I just cloaked everything.
Yeah.
Like, he didn't even play it badly. It's just like the game just developed in a very unfortunate way for him. He grabs the lighthouse, gets the giant this way, but
It's all
it's
like
just so
very
unfortunate.
sensible natural moves. It's just that it
Yeah.
loses to cloaks. And like your start didn't give you a village, but it gave you everything you needed for cloaks.
Yeah. Well, it's so funny, like, if you look at that position, it's my position, that's my position. I get a star ruin here. I don't get to spend them up until I claim the ruin. So, turn 6, I have 24 stars and no way of spending them. At 24 stars, yeah. By turn 6. Like, I couldn't even get smithery here. I was looking at it. Smithery, 13 stars for the tech. Upgrade would be 10 stars. So it would be 23... Okay, now I could get it. It would be 23 stars to upgrade my city once. Not twice, once. You know? Like, I was like, there's no real way of spending my stars.
You gotta watch back the commentary track, because I'm glad that we're in agreement. Everything you said, I'm like, yes, yes, yes.
I was also thinking about, like, getting roads here so I could get on this village with this rider, like, a turn sooner. Like here, if I go
I
into
was
the
not
village, a
looking
ruin
at
with this
that.
warrior, and then place a road on the ruin, and then a road on the forest here, I could then use the rider to get on the village a turn sooner. But that second road would be kind of useless. This first road, well, if I want to connect my cities, I would need 4 roads for it. It's not really feasible way of connecting my cities. It's not really expensive for economy purposes. Plus the tech, I was like, that's not cost effective
Yep.
at all, so I just played it slowly. But yeah, that was a really wacky game, for sure.
Absolutely. Well then. My only question is, where do we go now? Civet in Refa? Or no, they're pretty late in that game. Yukiso's reviewing a replay.
I wouldn't mind taking a break because it's only 2 hours. I would eat something and then
Oh, absolutely.
come back.
Go get some food, and then if you have it in you, I'd love to join
I
for
will.
some
I
commentary.
will.
Well,
We will
Astria just
see.
defeated Yukiso, so Astria should be
Oh, yeah,
playing someone soon.
well, we'll see you then.
See you. But would he really see us? Alright, Astria is going to be playing real soon, everyone. When I say real soon, I mean, you know. If you've been around, you know what real soon means.
Ladies and gentlemen, Polytopia racers, red and blue, let's get ready. We have something good for you.
That's right. The red team here, of course, being Ronin. Not really red so much as they are orange, but it fits the theming. Every team is either red or orange in the Poly Champions League. If you want to join the league, hit up that Discord link in the description. We'd love to see you play some Bullet. You can check out the games in Bullet VC if you'd like. They're talking about how many times they've hosted right now. Both have hosted 2 games so far. So, Astria, Yeti Peaks, figuring out their elos to determine who will host this round 5 game. Hoodrick v. Hoodrick. Ronin v. Tempest. So it looks like Astria is going to be the one hosting these games. Now, if you don't know, both of these players absolutely fantastic. Many Bullet Championship wins between the two of them. Yeti more recently playing, but Astria has been known to sweep multiple brackets even before the SGT bracket was added. Astria would play in the EST and GMT brackets, winning both of them, declaring the Bullet Grand Championship match null and void as Astria had already won both brackets. So, now these players would you want to mess around with? The only problem. Where's the stream, Yeti? Thank you, Yeti. I know I can always count on you. And since Astra is playing on Steam, they of course get priority. Things would change if Yeti seems to be winning. Astria, seasoned bullet competitor, skipping on turn 0. Oh, this is not colorblind friendly. The two Hoodricks look practically identical in terms of color. Well, they are identical in terms of everything else, so. Astria's got this had been a popular strategy in Polytopia days gone past. It was very useful if you were playing the Mingle Mayhem event on the server recently, but it has not been played in Bullet in a very long time. Most players opt to simply go ahead and pick up that second warrior instead. This is useful if you're. I mean, usually you'd use this as an aggressive start because you spend an extra star on the archer, and you don't have the power of the warrior, but you get the extra range with the archer. You would use it if you're making an aggressive push towards the center of the map, and you wanted that second archer to help you out. Like the second, generally, you would see the order of these two units flipped around here. The one archer that went to Lego would instead be heading up north. So that when you go to the Lego, you have the opportunity instead to move back. Oh my goodness. Yeti Peaks is going to go ahead and pick up a veteran swordsman here. I mean, everything seemed to be working out for Astria. Like, I got my Explorer, it dodged the lighthouse, but it did show me where this ruin was, and it got me stars from my opponent. I've got my archers going. But yeah, immediately it's like this city that looked so nice and had 4 animals. Nope, can't use it. Not only that, Astria, I'm sure would love to be training a lot of archers, but up against pressure, yeah, it feels like that lay go archer is going to simply die here. Yeah, as soon as it's trained. We didn't know if we don't know what Yeti's vision is, if it's safe to step on that ruin in the east or not. We did know that they had vision on the city, though, and that there was almost assuredly another archer on that city. So we're hoping, at least Astria is hoping, that Yeti doesn't have vision over so far in the east that they can kick Astria off this ruin. And it looks like it's a safe bet. The archer's a little grayed out. Doesn't have the option to attack anymore. So Astria is being kind of tortured by all these archers. There's a problem with the veteran swordsman pushing in. Okay, riding in roads. Usually that would be a fantastic combination of ruins, but with Astria being pushed off of that second city and having only capital, I mean, like, yeah, as Arthur puts it, good game. Oh my, like, there's no economy to be built after you go for the capital explorer. Yeah, and that skillfully dodges the West Lighthouse, so no upgrade for Astria this turn. Astria can get a couple of shots in on the swordsman, but just like siege with the archer, kill the 5 health archer there, advance the other archer, or advance the other swordsman to that tile west of Lego. No, yeah, even just kill it completely is better. Hello too. Oh my. We're sticking it out Astria. Just trying to hold on, but can advance the Lego one, re-siege with the other archer that's in the city tiles. Yeah, sieges both cities, or refuses to leave the Astria's units alive. Like 2 population ruins, 2 star ruins, the game could have gone very differently for Astria. Different ruin in the center. But sometimes that's just the way things go. Yeah, just allowing Yeti to play that checkmate, play that city capture. I can't believe what I just witnessed. Well, Civet just beat Refa, the Nova, who made it all the way to the finals in the previous Bullet tournament. So their game is going to be underway. The winner of that game between Sit and Meisterlampe will go ahead and play Yeti Peaks, who will then challenge Rats for the EST crown. With us in VC right now, we actually have the one and only Meisterlampe. Sitting here deafened, unaware of my monologuing, what's going on stream. So all we have to do is just wait a little bit for Civet to show up. Now you might remember Civet as having made it to the finals match from the earlier bracket today, GMT bracket. So what we just saw was a little revenge match. You may not remember them as having played in grand finals because we exclusively referred to them as the Flames player and the Nova. But they do have names, Civet and Refa. And Civet, although losing in grand finals, had some revenge, winning in that last game, only to be facing Meisterlampe. That is not an enviable position. We'll cut right back to it as they are actually playing.
Ladies and gentlemen, I have an announcement to make. Civic is here. The games are going soon.
Of course, the Vorse trademark. Tomorrow, I believe. It's going to happen at one time or the other. Both players are here. Oh my god, the game's going to start. Holy. If your team Meister, say something nice to him. If your team Civet, otherwise known as the Flame, and it might be sensible to go for the Flame here because the Flame never dies. We never let the Flame die. But here we go. Red side Civet, blue side Meister. Who's going to win? We don't know. Oh my gosh. He really is the Flame. Flaming Civet even in Polytopia. Cast your votes right now. If I check right now, as I will, Civet is a bullet player, but not a bullet champion, whereas Meister is a bullet champion. So Meister was hosting and 0. Oh man, that's not good. Okay, we've communicated with the players. He has skipped his turn too. More or less identical position. That's what it would have been had he skipped turn 1. So now he plays. And no extra stars from workshops. We fixed it. No bonus is necessary. But yeah, he's going to be looking at just training a ton of archers, I'm sure. Civet's trying to grab another city. Put some pressure on the capital, maybe here. But Meister is unimpressed. He says, "Why are you walking away from this village in the middle of the map?" What's the angle here? I'm wondering if he's just going to go ahead and shoot this. I think you'd have to train a warrior here. You have to be... okay. Yeah, train a warrior or train nothing. Because I think what you'd have to be worried about is an archer hog teaming up with the warrior to siege your capital. But if you don't train an archer, you're fine. And Meister didn't train an archer, so he's fine. Now, as unfortunate as the resources on Meister's second city are, they did have 2 animals, which is enough for a workshop. And that's completely playable. It got the probably worst lighthouse it could have. Not farming kills with the 5 health archer, just healing. Yeah, I think Meister's skepticism at Civet's play there, abandoning that center village, was probably justified, looking at what's going on right now. He took 1 health from Meister's archer. He did gain some vision around the capital, but he's given up the middle city, given Meister a kill, lost his warrior. So Meister in a fantastic position. A lot of animals, a lot of forests around that middle city. Forestry, a lot of stars in, of course, but serviceable with some chopping. Should make it all work out. And he can go ahead and pick up that village in the south, that ruin. Yeah, he sees this again, unimpressed. Why are you telling me about Archer being here? I'm still killing your warrior over in the west. I'm wondering if he's gonna step it on the forest where it can potentially give an enemy warrior a defense bonus. And he goes ahead and decides to advance with the very damaged archer. He's gonna just push all archers. Yes. And this is why it's called Maestro Firing Squad. A game like this, you train nothing but archers. Huge wall. Like, you just press in everywhere. Where that archer is coming from, where that shot was fired from, and says no. And that's all he needs to say in a position like this. No, you have 2 villages over there, and you're going to stay having 2 villages over there. He's really resistant towards, yeah, getting his, like, veterans set up. Like, 1 kill on all of his archers, but it's enough. He's taken out, like, his Civit's ability to play from anywhere. And just like we had before, another very short game between rock solid players. So the only 3 players left in the tournament are former Bullet champions, Lampe, who we just saw total his opponent in 9 moves. Yeti Peaks, who he's going to be playing up against. And then in the grand finals, in the winners bracket, Rats. We'll be playing a best 2 out of 3 with advantage to Rats, having not lost any of his games yet. He goes in having already won 1 of the games in the best of 3. The champions, reviewing his game afterwards. He's wondering why he didn't move around in a different way in the middle of the village, which was a catastrophic loss around that center city. It turns out no vision on that village, and the only indicators he saw, I guess, were just not strong enough to push him towards feeling that there was a village there that he needed to take very seriously. But yes, Meister locking down that center city probably locked the game in for him. Yeah, not having the, I mean, also just not having the 2 animals on the Civet second city. You could tell, like, last turn it was difficult for him, the population cap he had to deal with. Yeah, as soon as he loses that city, he sees he's locked out 5 against 2. And this might be a revenge match. If you, if Meister's able to go all the way through with it. Earlier in this tournament, the reason that he's in the knockout bracket to begin with is that Yeti Peaks defeated him in the Zabasi mirror. So, grudge match for sure. Will Meister be able to go all the way? As soon as we get Yeti Peaks in here, we'll know. I mean, Yeti Peaks is in here, but he's not streaming. Oh my god, we're already back. Yeti Peaks will be the one hosting this game, having only hosted 2 other games this tournament. Whereas Meister has hosted a total of 3 games. The Swamp of Gold. Does not feel very appropriate for a Drylands map to be very swampy. Maybe more in lakes. Or specific to the Forgotten Skin. The Aquarion. But even then, feels even less appropriate for a Vengear mirror. He's moving that thing around. Is he trying to show off his other games? I mean, let's try to figure out, just psychologically who these players are. If we look at Yeti's games, well, okay, first off, if we look at Meister's games, there's nothing. He's in his replays. If we looked at his ongoing games, it would only be this one. But Yeti plays other games. He's got an IMO game that he isn't playing, the Nuclear Fish. Whereas he's got 2 Illyrion games as well. Meister, we're gonna give him stream priority just because he's on Steam. Look at that crisp quality. Thank you, Meister Lampe. So if we check in the opposition, see, yeah, both players of Lighthouse spawns, north and east corners. And they're kind of running straight into each other. And Meister, yeah, normally if you're, looking to expand, where Meister's going is the safest, most conservative route. You might pair that with a warrior and single swordsman here, but Meister going for the double swordsman opening. Yeah, trying to put a unkillable swordsman on that road. But yeah, it doesn't work out so well for him. As it turns out, his opponent was right there in the east corner. Should be able to lock down the second village though. But Vengear is as Vengear does, and the resources are abysmal. Yeah, of course he's going to the workshop. Now let's see. He got something from the ruin, and Meister isn't quite sure what. He's trying to make something happen. Maybe he's flashing the screen a little too much. I think we have to alternate between players' perspectives. So much for the crisp quality. Yeah, he sees the capital borders. I don't think the capital borders were a surprise. He saw the opening of both of the players having the lighthouse spawn. So that he was able to reach the mountain ruin when he did. You should have already figured out east. Maybe he's just trying to put some pressure. Yep. Climbing wasn't just good for... Oh, we got a fishing ruin, okay. But yeah, going climbing wasn't only good for the ruin, which... How good was the ruin, really? But more so just the vision that it got him around the map. So Yeti's kind of returning his swordsman to his capital right now. Whereas Meister Lampe is continuing his attack. And not scared by the possibility of a swordsman in the fog sieging him. That's why he trained the swordsman he did in the order that he did. He's just, no. He sees it. He sees it quickly. He knows what to do. Now, looking at these resources, it's a real hodgepodge, but if Meister picks up... He's got really 2 options, forestry and org. And I think he just has to go into org. It's going to be quick to grab the East Lighthouse, and that upgrades his capital. And it also gets him level 2 upgrades on his other cities if he goes into org. Forestry is, of course, much more expensive. You are pop capped there, yeah. You're not training a rider on your capital either. Not an archer on your capital. You don't have archery. I mean, he hasn't lost the game for sure. Like he can unsiege here. I think he was. Oh yeah, no, I don't think that was a mistake at all. I think it was just after pushing far into the east, he's allowing the 1-star siege to uh, trade for a swordsman. My bad in speaking in such a baffled manner there. It's just not often that your opponent has a veteran as a swordsman in your city borders and you just walk off the village. But I mean that's what makes a Vengir, I don't know, like an exciting or like unique tribe to see in Bullet. The kinds of tactics you get when you have no economy but a very powerful, bulky units like swordsmen. Going in for a second lighthouse. He was highlighting Oregon tech tree, especially with 3 cities now instead of 2. Forestry is just getting more and more out of reach for him to actually upgrade with. Organization's still good for all the reasons that we talked about earlier. Yeah, the swordsman's doing laps around these mountains. I think he's trying to reroute it back to the defense of his capital. Yeah, I think how does he want to do it? Yeah, Meister going ahead and gambling a little bit on getting the ruin, not the ruin, the lighthouse, to upgrade his capital and have enough stars for some other stuff. But he picks up 2 upgrades instead of just 1. And yeah, I think yet he's left his capital a little bit defenseless here. Unless he has a 2 swordsmen in the fog. Something we could check, but we won't. Meister sword spammer. Yeah. That was a tough game, and I'm sure this is one that Meister's going to replay. He wants to see what was going on. I think when he sees the fishing ruin, he'll understand a little bit more. Because it wasn't just a fishing ruin. It was also buying a tier 1 tech as Vengir. Climbing. That's the price of a whole swordsman. That's the price of happiness. If he'd gotten population of veteran swordsmen, stars, all of those would have been nice, useful. Even just trading techs, like you buy climbing and then it gives you back hunting. That all works. Fishing, no. Yeah, as soon as he gets the fishing ruin, he's got a lot of problems. And he tries to expand into the south, but his capital is improperly defended. If he'd had the swordsman that actually went and captured that ruin closer to his capital, maybe he could have defended something there. You might be probably asking why he didn't head towards that center village, but instead started trying to threaten him. He just doesn't have any units around his capital. This is a ridiculous position that he ended up in. If you look on, like, all of his moves, they feel natural and everything. But then you just look at it on turn 8 and he has nothing around his capital to defend. Meister's just asking, what were you doing? Well, Rat said that he was going to go ahead and pick up some dinner. That he was a hungry guy. What, it's 11 p.m. for him? It's a very early dinner, I think. But he was expecting that when he left about half an hour ago. Yeah, thank you, Rush. For pinging rats. It's time to come back. It's time for finals. Just absolutely ridiculous series of 3 games. The game against Astria, the game against Civet, the game against Yeti. Like, none of them went past turn 10. So nothing Rats was doing, assuming that we would have 2 hours of games to go through was wrong, but it turns out we only had about half an hour. Very short games. Rats has returned. Rats. Would you believe me if I told you that? Well, let me look at who's playing. So, Yeti Peaks and Astria played a game, and it only went to turn 8. And
Yeah.
then Maisolampe and Civet played a game, and it went to like turn 8. And then Maisolampe and Yeti Peaks played a game, and it went to like turn 8. So instead of having 2 hours of games, we had about half an hour. Were you able to do everything you wanted to in that break time?
Yeah, I ate a bit and I chat with some friends, and now I'm back.
Perfect, perfect. Well then. Yeah, so you're gonna be playing an Aquarion mirror, yeah?
Yeah, seems like it. Isn't that like Meister's favorite tribe in Bullets? I feel like it is.
Yeah, well, since they've gotten the update, we're old and slow to adapt.
I mean,
We've been
to be
playing the
fair, like
same game for years.
there's like an update, but like the way that Aquarion was played in Bullets, the update, unironically, even though it fully reworked Aquarion, it doesn't really change the way it's played in Bullet.
Yeah, you're not really
Like,
going to
unless
buy
you go
fishing now.
Riders,
Yeah,
it's very different.
it changes how riders work. They're usable now.
Yeah, true.
Other than that, a lot
I
of the
believe he
same.
hosts. Oh wait, I host? Oh, I host. Oh, that's crazy.
Yeah, he's hosted 3 times, I think.
Oh yeah, true. Wait a minute.
Well, you're going into this match with advantage for having won all of your games up to this point. Good luck. Have fun.
Thank you.
Well, Rats is going in with advantage, so let's go check out his stream. He remembers. Skips that start. Meister over in the east. Ooh, is he thinking about going shop what? Yep. Okay, is he gonna get a warrior now, or is he just gonna... He can't even go crazier and do an explorer. No, okay. Yeah, Rats is much too solid of a player to do that. So checking out the opposition. Yeah. So Rats' general solid plays are going to get him in some trouble. Yeah, Meister captures this city here. Oh, good. Okay. So this would be fine if not for the way that Meister spawned to the east. If he spawned in the north or the west, it would have been fine. And then also for the fact that Meister chose to get the southwest city in between them first, followed up with the other city in the center of the map. He's effectively cut Rats off immediately because Rats took some more time with that workshop. It would be acceptable if not for we're going to see here. So Rats is able to get that level 3 city, taking advantage of the fish that Aquarion forces into the game, like Kiku does on Drylands. But his big problem is how they play around for that middle city. Yeah. So this feels like it was an option for Meister. Oh, I've damaged both your 5 health riders, your 5 health warriors rather. Can't do anything now. However, yeah, Meister was not anticipating that warrior. He could not capture that village that turn. This isn't game over for him though. Far from it. They're both going to have their villages, but Rats has advantage in the center of the map. And a higher level. His capital is level 3 as opposed to the level 2 cities that his opponent has. Yeah, Rats also has... I mean, the big thing for him is he's got another village waiting for him in the west. You see the 2 animals in the farm. We know what's waiting for him there. Yeah, deciding to get the kill on the higher value target. But this is going to actually be really similar to, at the beginning of the stream, watching Rats play Kiku. He has this low health unit here, but he starts farming his kills. I was assuming actually that we were going to see the 2 health warrior push west to capture that village. But Rats is content to farm for a veteran with this rider or amphibian while he goes ahead and I think he bounces his capital amphibian on there and then kills with the other one. Well, that's no longer an option with how aggressively Meister's just played here. Ooh, chills. He's not going to... Never mind. He's not going to step on the village with the... he just picked up that kill with in the center. Yeah, just get it to the west of that second city. No, he's just shutting Meister's tactics down. He's trying to, like, Meister's trying to overload him. Give him too many targets and say, okay, we're going to have to give up stepping on that village. And Rat says, no, I'm not. I don't have to give up anything. Meanwhile, if we check in on his position, well, everything I said about this village here being an advantage in Meister's crown, not so true. Meister actually had a village northwest or northeast the entire time. Yeah, northeast, and then he can safely train his amphibian. Maybe not safely. I mean, like, okay. The 4 health amphibian there can get a single attack in on his on Ratz's capital amphibian, but I don't expect that he's all too torn up about that. Yeah, going after the easy kills that he can get and not get punished for. He's trying to get all of his amphibians in range to keep rats off that village in the northwest, but he just can't do it. His units that are in range are also in range for rats to kill with that warrior, or either of the warriors really. Yeah, I mean, the big thing for rats is that, well, these forests are kind of annoying for him, for one thing. They're not that he would want to, but should he want to, forests are getting in his way of sieging this turn. And it looks like he's just gonna go ahead and go for it. Yeah. Picks up forestry chops, gets the siege, and he's going to go ahead and be able to block. And he tells Meister, you can't unsiege. You can't kick me off this northwest village. You should resign now. So, absolutely action-packed. That game got to turn 10 at least. Yeah, Meister's watching everything that happened. So that Morkins, yeah, so this is Meister's big misplay, capturing this city instead of killing the warrior, the 5 health warrior rather, or either of the 2 warriors. He assumed he would be able to keep the villages, and if he were able to, he chokes rats, like rats doesn't have a position to play with. But as soon as rats gets this middle city, there's a lot of life in the position. He's got the level 3 capital, and that extra economy, as well as the more defensible position. How his cities are set up. It's all working out for him. Meister continues to make some aggressive pushes, but it ends up just helping solidify Rats' position, really. And Rats, the workshop-loving king that he is, very solid position here. No explorers necessary.
I was going to explore my 4th village, by the way. Shape it fully and explore it. But I was not going to explore any of my other cities. There was no point.
Yep. Yeah, absolutely.
I rather have the economy. Also, because like the way I played my early game was like I played hard into the economy tree, right?
Yep.
Like going into the straight workshop, I get my workshop turn 1. I have host advantage, so I have 2 more stars to work with in that sense. So I grabbed the workshop on turn 1 compared to his workshop with the first warrior trained, obviously, at turn 3. So I have like already I'm up 4 stars from workshop plus 2 stars from host. So I'm up 6 stars already. That's what I played into, and that's why I kept playing into. And there's no point to explore.
Absolutely.
Because even in a situation like this, if I can get a second village and he's on 3 villages, like let's say I played 2 versus 3 village count, because my economy advantage is so high, I will end up with a lot of tech, few cities, and high income for that cities, and I will be then able to pick up a lot of tech, whatever I need, because it's so cheap compared to my income. And then I will be able to straight up pump out the crabs and push with them in a way where it's gonna be hard for him to defend.
Yeah, absolutely. No, I was not.
I think I did one misplay actually early game. I think Orc was not the play. I think I should have gone hunting instead, because that would have been my archery route immediately. I only had 1 animal and I saw 3 food. That's why I went organization. But with the lighthouse, that animal is enough for the workshop, and I would immediately open my archery tree. I think that would have been a smarter play here for me. Because if I had done that, I would have been able to not train a 3rd warrior, but then train an archer the turn afterwards. And that would have been like also really annoying for him to deal with, but I think this worked out really nicely.
Yeah, definitely held that siege in the center well.
I also don't even think he
Never
could
worry about
have
it.
held the center there, even if he doesn't claim it. Like claiming that was a mistake,
Yeah.
yes, but if he had recovered, or Like, if he had recovered that unit, like for 2 HP, and killed the other warrior with the other warrior, then I would not have been able to undo the middle village again because I only have one warrior in range. The other ones are blocked. I would then be able to grab the other village in the west though, and that would be my position to play 2 versus 3 village count. But I would also be able to deny him that middle village, so it'd be 2 versus 2, and I have an economy advantage. I think. What I really wanted to say though is, I like how Meister immediately recognized that I stepped to the back grabbing the lighthouse, and stepped on the first village he saw immediately, knowing I couldn't do anything about it.
Mm-hmm.
Like, usually in Bullet, you don't step on the first village you see, knowing that if the opponent sees you do that, you lose the game immediately. But because he saw, I assume that he score counted that, or like at least checked the score, saw that my score jumped by a lot more than what is usual for a turn 1 Aquarion. Notice that I got a workshop instead of training a second warrior, moved backwards with the first warrior, which crucially means that I won't be able to contest the village that he steps on. That was smart for him to just go for it.
Absolutely. All right then. Any thoughts in conclusion? Well, this was a very fast bullet bracket. All the players, well, at the highest, the games you expect most excitement from, finished up their games very quickly, all in 10 turns or fewer in those last few rounds. So our next bracket is going to start in an hour and a half. Check us out then.